This is the Creality SparkX i7, and my goal with this video is to cover both who it's perfect for and when you might want to upgrade to something a little different. But quick disclaimer, Creality sent this machine to the channel to review, but when I review a printer, especially one that I've been sent, I'm not going to tell you to buy it or not to buy it. I will do my best to give you the facts and my real personal experiences with it, and I'll leave that choice up to you because it's your money, it's not mine. So, in the world of 3D printing, there are two main motion systems for 3D printers. So we have the newer Core XY design of printers like my Core 1 and Core 1L, and this is where the bed itself moves up and down on the Z-axis, and the head moves left, right, forward, and back. And then we have the classic tried and true bed slinger design. It's named after the fact that the bed, with the print, moves forward and backwards, and the head is responsible for left, right, up and down motion. And this is how printers like my Mark IV's and this SparkX i7 work. Bed slingers tend to be the least expensive printers in any company's lineup, and Creality is no different. It's an older design and easier to manufacture, my assumption is at least, and this allows companies like Creality to make reliable, multicolor 3D printers that come in as low as $229 with an auto refill CFS Mini, and full multicolor with this CFS Lite for $359. Or, if you want to go in between, they have a CFS Nano for $299. And this is a combo, a full printing system for $299. These prices are extremely competitive for a printer with a 260 by 260 by 255 millimeter build volume. And it's purpose built to be easy to use. While I do use different printers from different brands, I haven't tried everything. So I'm not going to try and say things like this is the simplest printer out there. But what I can say is this is the simplest printer that I've personally ever used. It was intuitive to set up, and compared to the only other multicolor 3D printer I have, the X2D, it just feels more intuitive. Now onto the important stuff, the print experience. I printed a test cube to check for accuracy, and it should be 20 millimeters on all sides, and you can see that it's pretty close. It's within a few hundredths of a millimeter on all sides. Next, I printed this Creality test print, and mind you, this is with PETG, so the stringing is because of the filament more than the printer, but overall, everything looks great. Why PETG? Well, I recently moved into my garage here, and it is hot. I'm in Southern California, and it's so hot that it's above the recommended temperature for PLA, and it goes as high as 35, 36, 37 degrees Celsius in here. So until I get air conditioning, I'm probably gonna stay away from PLA on hot summer days. So I also printed two small multicolor prints, and this is where I realized that I've been spoiled. The prints look good. I mean, look at Deadpool, he looks great. There's no stringing or print issues at all, and I'm really, really happy. Compared to the X2D, I don't think most people would notice any difference at all. But looking at Winnie the Pooh, this is one I only printed on this printer, the SparkX i7, and you can see there's a small print issue on the neck. And that was an adhesion issue while printing, but I didn't want to print a new one because of this. This is the infamous multicolor poop, and this is why I said I'm spoiled. The X2D isn't a Snapmaker U1 or an Index from Prusa, so it has some waste, but a lot less waste than something like the SparkX because it's a dual nozzle. With single nozzle, there's no beating around the waste issue. With a dual nozzle, you can kind of do that, specifically because, you know, only one nozzle has to switch out filament and you can keep the most common color on the other. With the SparkX i7 though, it's a little bit of a different story. If you run a small business, it's less of an issue because the waste stays the exact same whether you print 1 or 10 of a multicolored print on one plate. But if all you want to do is print one-off multicolored prints like these, there's going to be some compromise. Either you'd be okay with the wasted filament, or you have to upgrade to a multi-tool printer. Those are the only real options. So Creality is coming out with the K3, and that's their solution to this problem, but it won't be anywhere near $300. And it's not out currently, so it's something you have to wait for unless you get an option from FlashForge like the Creator 5 or the Snapmaker U1, which I don't have yet, but I'm hoping to make a video on soon. Now, this is where it really shines. Single color prints. Most people, I think, fit into the category of, mostly doing single color prints, but for hobbyists like myself, occasionally you want the option to do multicolor prints. And this is a solid printer for that. I mean, look at the single color prints that I've made so far. Just the test prints and the benchies, the accuracy is spot on. It looks incredible. I had no issues at all. Plus, it's so easy to use, I never have to worry about whether a print's going to complete or not. And like I said, anything that's better than this is more expensive. That's a major pro for me. At $229 for a single color, there isn't a single color printer I'd say better than this. And everything in its class is on par or worse, so going with a cheaper option like the SparkX i7 can also mean going with the better printer. Now, to say the thing everybody knows at this point, this looks like a Bamboo Lab A1. I haven't used an A1, but I will say that having this, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. And my biggest problem, waste, won't be solved just by switching to another brand. This is, 10% cheaper with an enclosed CFS or 25% cheaper with the more comparable and brand new CFS Nano. So that's it. Creality made a quality machine that undercuts the competition on price while delivering more features. If you want to constantly do multicolor and want less waste, you'll have to, spend double, if not triple the price. So really, if your budget's $300, I mean, there really isn't much else that I can think of that comes close to competing with price and features, but it's up to you, whether it's good enough for your use or you're going to have to step up to a more expensive printer. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you gained some value from this, and if you did, like, share, subscribe, and all that, and I'll catch you next time.